This is the evening of Monday, the 15th day of September 2025. Federal High Court Judge refers Nnamdi Kanu's medical transfer motion to the Chief Judge for reassignment. Nnamdi Kanu is seeking an order of the court transferring him to the National Hospital, Abuja, for urgent medical attention. This is not the first time, this is not the second time, this is not the third time that the Nigerian government, if I may put it in that way, have denied or prolonged Nnamdi Kanu's request for his urgent medical attention. Like me, I'm a very young boy. I cannot stay 5 years without proper medical checkup, going for hospital visitation, even though I'm not sick, just to check up. I am moving around, I am eating, healthy diets. Talking of someone that has been confined to just one room that he is not even seeing the sun all the time. I see all these things like a calculated attempt to make sure that this man's enemy will die, but I think he's going to come out strongly. Now, this is a very, calculated game that I see here. When Chinese television published this news today about the judge that was assigned this case that is in charge of this case, that's supposed to give Nnamdi Kanu this favor to go to National Hospital for urgent treatment. He said that they did not file it on time, that they should return the case file to the Chief Judge to reassign it to another person. Now, let me tell you why I say this is a game. The federal government side, that is the federal government, the prosecutors, their team did not reject Nnamdi Kanu's motion to go to hospital. They said, no problem, he can go. But the judge is now trying to maneuver everything. You see, I look at this, I say, this is a calculated game. I'm just laughing. All they are doing is just to make sure they weaken this man. They want to see him, die. But that is not going to happen. But to Southeast politicians, you sacrifice your brother for political gain and political purposes. I was watching the video of Oje Ozokano saying that he won Nnamdi Kanu, that he must face the judgment. I say, wow. He must face the judgment. Which judgment? Are you talking about the Federal High Court in Enugu that has freed him? Are you talking about the Federal High Court in your own state, Abia, that have freed him and fined the federal government 1 billion? Are you talking about the appeal court that is charging Nnamdi Kanu and acquit him? Which judgment are you talking about that he's going to face the law? For you to understand how these people have sold their brother for just political reason. But it is not going to continue to be like this. Now, what happened? Chinese television published that Justice Musa Ndemina of the Federal High Court Abuja has sent back to the Chief Judge a motion filed by the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, for reassignment. It continues that Kanu, in the motion ex parte, is seeking an order of the court transferring him to the National Hospital Abuja for urgent medical attention. In a short ruling, Justice Ndemina ordered the transfer of the case filed back to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, following an application by Kanu's counsel, Uchenna Njoku, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, considering the fact that the annual vacation of the court will end on September 15. Do you understand what he said is the excuse that made him to tell them to transfer it back? Now let's continue. Counsel to the Department of State Service, Adegboyaga Awomondo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, did not oppose Uchenna's application. Do you now see the game? Before, it was DSS that was preventing Nnamdi Kanu not to go to hospital to live there. Now, the DSS, that is the federal government lawyer, now said, no problem, Nnamdi Kanu can go to hospital. But the judge is saying they did not file this thing on time. The vacation of the judges will end on 15. I don't think I can handle it. They should send it back to the Chief Judge. The Chief Judge will reassign it to another judge. All these things, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but we know what is going on. We know what is going on. Now, he said not less than 30 cases were listed for the day's proceedings by the registrar. And since the court would be unable to take all, the cases were pruned down to 6. He said there were so many cases that he can't handle all, and they prune it down to 6. This is where I asked the question. If a judge is supposed to pick cases that he's going to attend as a matter of urgency, is it not on health ground? that he is supposed to take serious and just, give the order. What is even this order self? Because the federal government side are not opposing it. It's a matter of sit and just give it 5 minutes, you are done with it. 5 minutes, you are done with it, because the federal government side is not opposing it, so that you will say, oh, they want to debate, they want to, argue. Nobody's arguing. Nobody's arguing. All right. Justice Nnamdi added that in the line with Section 46(8) of the Federal High Court rules, any case that could not be completed within the vacation period would have to be sent back to the Chief Judge for reassignment. Now, I don't have problem with the judge, okay? The problem I have is that he chose like 6 cases to attend without choosing the one on head ground. You understand my own concept and concern. Why must you choose cases that is not relevant and you leave the one? Someone have been in detention for 5 years without proper medical attention, and the person want to go to hospital. You are saying you don't have time, that there are other cases that you have chosen 6. He said that though Kanu's motion was an urgent one in view of his head ground, it was filed late. Do you understand where I'm coming from now? Even the judge understand what I'm saying. That anything health is emergency. But he said it was filed late. Now, I understand the principles of all these things. You don't choose the one they fight first or the one they fight the second time. No, you choose it by the order of importance. What do I know, self? I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge. But this is the principle, how it is being done all over the world. You choose it like there must be alternative foregone of the ones that even though you even judge it next year, the parties are not concerned. What about if his ear health continues to grow bad? Anyway, as I said before, they want this man not to be alive, but what they are saying is surprising them. Now, responding, Awomondo said, in case management, the court had the overriding decision on which case to go on and which is not to go on. You now understand what I've been saying. The court have the overriding decision. It doesn't matter the one that comes first. It doesn't matter the one that comes second. The court can decide that this case that is coming now, let me attend to it now and leave the rest. You don't decide with the court which case to attend first or not. So that was my own beef with this situation. Now, a woman said it was unfortunate that the matter was coming up rather late. And this is what he said in quote. Had it been that they filed the application earlier, it would have been taken during vacation. But we are ready to take the motion anytime, any day, he added. Justice Nnamdi consequently ordered that the case file be transferred to the registry for reassignment. This is the end of the article from Channels Television. What do you think about this? You see, the situation surrounding Nnamdi Kanu's detention, it is more angering people. It is angering people the more. This is what I mean. If you read the news I published earlier, you will see that a terrorist that killed 30 persons while they were worshipping in the mosque, he was sitting beside DSS, the army, and other people having peace talk. Can someone just tell me why Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention? All these questions will be answered on the doomsday. I'm telling Nigerians, I'm telling everybody, this can't continue like this. There is already tension in the atmosphere. You might not understand what I'm saying. The tension is already in the air. People are seeing what is happening. And on the day, a lot of questions will be answered. A lot of questions will be answered. What the federal government is doing is not acceptable. Now, I have never seen a case in Nigeria, apart from that of Nyako, that judge that was handling Nnamdi Kanu's case. They say her husband and her son, that they have case with EFCC, and it was remaining pending for years. Apart from that, if there are others, I don't know. I've never seen cases of someone with the federal government. The federal government have the utmost power to do whatever they want to do. And they could not jail this man if you think he's guilty. You did not see your own court as federal government could not find him guilty. And you continue to keep him. If they talk, they say it's a national security. But Boko Haram, oh, it's not a national security. They can repent and join army, right? All this terrorism going on, they are not national issue because you imported them into the country. There are so many questions to answer on the doomsday. So many questions to answer. And you come to national television and you tell people, we imported these terrorists to do a nation. We did not import it to destabilize Nigeria. And when I watched them, I said, what kind of country is this? What kind of places? What kind of people are these? How can a grown-up elder, 70 years old man, comes to the national television, Chinese television, and he's sitting comfortably, and he is telling a so-called journalist, I'm sorry to use that word, a so-called journalist that we did not bring people to destabilize Nigeria. Yes, we actually imported people, but it was for the purpose of election to remove Jonathan because there was tension and we were thinking that Jonathan is going to win the election. And the journalists kept quiet without further interrogation. And that is why they used to go to Chinese television for such rubbish. They can't do it in Arise News because they know that someone like Rufai is going to pin you down there. I was expecting maybe the anchor of the show to ask him, so you are saying you are responsible for over 1 million people that these people have killed. Enter there. By the way, they are still afraid because the DSS is aware of everything that is going on according to Kundo Naomi. But they are not ready to do anything. They are not ready. They are not ready. Poor people continue to die. People who can't protect themselves. People who can't afford security. Anyway, it is what it is. The lesson will be learned very soon. The shake-up is already here. Is it not 2026 we're about to enter? The shake-up is already here. Let me know what you think about this. I'm Okochapi myself, a conflict reporter.
Police went to rescue kidnapper in Taraba. Military officers attacked convoy, killed 3 officers and civilians, and then the kidnapper escaped. That is the country that we live in. Law enforcement officers were killed by military, and kidnapper managed to escape. And this is the people standing here. Nigeria is...
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits that kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.